Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Jimmy Foosball here with the HFL 2024 Week 14 recap. Let's get into the shits. Please excuse the congestion. I am a little sick, but we gotta come correct for the last regular season recap. The playoff and consolation brackets are officially set. Week 14 was a very controversial week between David, the manager, and a couple other league mates in an event being coined the manager lineup situation. We will talk about that and more in this recap. During the most important week of the entire regular season, two teams failed to secure their lineups correctly. What happened in week 14, starting with our fantasy player of the week, Josh Allen, putting up 52.88 points, the highest QB performance in fantasy football history, 342 yards, 6 total touchdowns for him. Defense of the week is the San Francisco 49ers with 7 sacks, a fumble recovery, and 13 points allowed. And the kicker of the week, Jason Sanders. I think he had 16 points, 4 for 4 field goals, 0 for 1 extra point. And without further ado, let's get into our week 14 matchups, beginning with our first Amonabo versus Brees Company. In this matchup, Mike beats Lombardi 108 to 81 points. Both teams have secured playoff positions. Lombardi puts up the duck of the week. Going through the lineup, you got Russell Wilson, 158, 2 touchdowns for 16 points. Isaiah Pacheco, 7.1 points, 55 yards. James Cook, 20 yards, 3.9 points. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 5 receptions, 43 yards, 7.8 points. Mike Evans, 4 receptions, 69 yards, 8.9 points. Pat Fryermuth, 3 for 48 and a touchdown, 12.3 points. Brian Thomas Jr., 8 for 86. 12.6 points. Westbrook Akine, 2.4 points. Pittsburgh defense, 10 points. And Groupie with a donut. Top performers for Mike are Chuba Hubbard, Cooper Kupp, and Jason Sanders. Patrick Mahomes, 210 and a touchdown for 14.1 points. Cooper Kupp, 5 for 92 and a touchdown for 17.7 points. Chuba, 92 yards and a touchdown for 18.7 points as Jonathan Brooks goes down. Non-contact ACL injury. Jason Sanders, kicker of the week, 16.2 points. This matchup secured Mike's playoff spot. He finishes with an 8-6 record. Lombardi also with the 8-6 record, both playoff bound teams. Our second matchup of the week is between Joe Nixon and Mr. Miami. Joe Nixon, same team name as last week. Both teams are in consolation positions. The drama that occurred was one of the outspoken individuals regarding the manager and his lineup fails to take out Romeo Dobbs after he's ruled out on Wednesday. Very controversial at the time, but when it's all said and done, it really did not matter. Joe Nixon gets the W, 139.96 to Mr. Miami's 113.1. Top performers for Boston include Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow, and Kyron Williams. Burrow with 369, 3 touchdowns and a pick for 25.56. Kyron Williams, 87 and 2 touchdowns for 22.7. Jamar Chase, 14 receptions for 177 and 2 touchdowns, 39.1 points. I'm having some PTSD. Top performers from Mr. Miami, Jordan Addison, Rashad White, and Baker Mayfield. Baker, 295, 3 touchdowns, 2 picks for 19 points. Rashad White, 90 yards, 2 total touchdowns, 23.9 points. Bucky Irving did leave the game early. Jordan Addison, 8 receptions, 133 yards, and 3 touchdowns for 36.3 points. Boston finishes the regular season with a 7-7 record. Joe with a 4-10 record. Unfortunately, both teams are consolation bound. Third matchup of the week is the one with all the drama. It is between Just My and the manager. If David were to win, it opens the floodgates for new playoff position hopefuls. But unfortunately, Cleary beats David 153 to 84. Cleary secures his playoff position in control of his own destiny. He gets the job done. David, on the other hand, has been in consolation for a while. Early in the week, David said he was not going to set his lineup properly, making adjustments for bye weeks, and he would give Cleary the free win and ruin the playoff chances for Boston and JD. There were a lot of outspoken individuals saying David deserves last place punishment instantly, that this is ruining the integrity of the league. But luckily for David, he's absolute dog shit, and Cleary steamrolled him. Top performers for Cleary are Justin Jefferson, Josh Jacobs, and Tua. Tua with 331 and 2 touchdowns for 24.5 points. Josh Jacobs, 66 yards, 3 touchdowns, 24.6 points. Justin Jefferson, 7 receptions, 132 yards, 2 touchdowns. And for the manager, his top performers are Bijan Robinson, Jameis Winston, and New Orleans defense special teams. Jameis Winston putting up 212, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks, 15.28 points. Bijan, 92 yards and a touchdown for 19.1 points. And New Orleans defense with an interception, 11 points allowed, and a block with 9 points. Cleary finishes the regular season with an 8-6 record. He is playoff bound. David with a 3-11 record is consolation bound. Our fourth matchup of the week is what I would consider the game of the week. It is between Bamford Legend and Squidward Tortellini. Winner of this game secures the second first round bye week playoff position, and that is as I predicted. JP, he beats Fink 162 to 137. Fink ends the regular season with a 3-game losing streak and fails to secure the bye week for the playoffs. Top performers for Fink are Jawan Jennings, Brock Purdy, George Kittle. 49ers stand up. Purdy with 325, 2 touchdowns for 23.1 yards. George Kittle with 6 receptions, 151 yards for 19.1 points. And luckily, the 2 Brock Purdy touchdowns went to Jawan Jennings, who had 2 touchdowns, 90 yards, 7 receptions, 24.5 points. The top performers for JP, shout out the birthday boy. He is actually the team of the week. So, going through the lineup, Josh Allen, fantasy player of the week. Absurd nuclear performance, 52 points. James Conner, 90 yards, reception touchdown, 20.2 points. Monty Mole, 51 yards, touchdown, 16.9 points. Tyreek, 10 receptions, 115, and a touchdown for 24.1 points. Jaden Reed, a donut. We're still talking about the team of the week here. Noah Gray, 4 receptions, 26 yards, 4.6 points. Devontae Adams, 9 for 109 and a touchdown, 22.4 points. Ray McLeod, 8 for 98, 12.1 points. Minnesota defense, 3 points. Younghoe Koo, 5.9 points. Fink finishes with an 8-6 record. JP with a 9-5 record. Both are playoff bound. Our fifth matchup is between Hairline Avengers and Friday Jones. JD defeats Gabe 108 to 95.02. Both teams have secured consolation positions. More drama in week 14. Gabe, another outspoken voice regarding the manager lineup situation, fails to sub out George Pickens, who was ruled out before game time Sunday. Wow, 2 people ruled out, dropping donuts, lineups not secured on the most important week of the entire year. That is absurd. Top performers for Gabe are Isaac Guerrero, Jahmyr Gibbs, San Francisco defense. He starts Geno Smith, 233, a touchdown for 13.32. Gibbs, 43, a receiving touchdown for 16.3. Guerrero, 78, 2 touchdowns, 25.8 points, although he leaves injured. Top performers for JD, Jalen Hurts, Jonnu Smith, Chris Boswell. Hurts putting up 108, 3 total touchdowns for 24.22 points. Jonnu Smith, 3 for 44 and a touchdown, all done in overtime for 11.9 points. And Chris Boswell, 2 for 2 field goal, 3 for 3 extra point, 11.4 fantasy points. Gabe finishes with a 5-9 record. JD, very unlucky season for him with a 7-7 record. And on the complete opposite side of unlucky, we're talking about Sosa, Jeff, and Intimidation Infinite, our 6th matchup. Zach beats Frank 134 to 123. He ends the regular season on an 11-game winning streak. His top performers include Puka Nacua, Zach Charbonnet, and CeeDee Lamb. He starts Cooper Rush, who puts up 183 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick for 13.82 points. Zach Charbonnet goes off, 134, 2 touchdowns for 35.8 points. And CeeDee Lamb, 6 receptions, 93 yards, and a touchdown for 18.4 points. And Puka Nacua, 12 receptions, 162 yards, 36.8 points. Very strong performance. Top performers for Frank are Chase Brown, Rico Dowdle, and Saquon Barkley. Justin Herbert, 213 and a touchdown for 13.72 points. Saquon, 124 yards, 15.4 points. Chase Brown, 58, a reception touchdown for 21.3 points. And Rico Dowdle, 131 yards for 15.6 points. Zach finishes the regular season with a 13-1 record. Frank, consolation bound with a 4-10 record. Did they win? We lost. Taking a look at our standings here, this is how the regular season finishes. You see all the appropriate lettering. Everyone is locked in. Looking at our playoff bracket, first seed Sosa Jeff gets the bye week. Everyone saw it happening, secured many weeks ago. The next matchup is between the 4th and 5th seed Brees Company and Just My. Second matchup between Amana Boat and Bamford Legend. And of course, Squidward Tortellini, our second bye week with the 9-5 record. Everybody else with 8-6 records. Is it champion prediction time for Jimmy Foosball? Yes, I have a 1-0 record guessing. We have one team here who has yet to achieve the championship gold. That is Brees Company. All other playoff participants have won. Are we looking at a first two-time champ or are we looking at a first-time champ? The numbers are stacked against the first-time champ, but HFL history would say otherwise. And with all that being said, Jimmy Foosball is making his prediction that Squidward Tortellini will win the 2024 HFL Championship. Mark it in the books. I am 2-0. I can feel it. No bias talking here. No jinx, of course. Looking at our consolation, to be honest, consolation will be more neglected this year. No one really gives a shit. We just want to know who comes in last. All these names you are reading here right now are big doo-doo stinky dog shit. The regular season is over. The playoffs begin. Sorry for the energy on this recap. Playoffs, week 1 recap next week. I hope you continue to watch to see how the season concludes. It should be a good one. My name is Jimmy Foosball. Thank you for watching. I will see you next week. Peace.